Okay, so I just wanted to make a point about where I left off at this. I think it's been quite a while since you've seen this pattern, but I have not moved that, and the reason why I haven't changed this is because I wanted to show a long-term result of this, so this definitely does have more of a long term. We can see that there's this upward trend that has been building up to, up to this point. So, there's a few things I wanted to talk about here. So, let's see if we can get this range. This is an H4, so let's see if I can get a 1 minute. A 1 day. See if I can get a 1 day on that. Okay, what was this? Yeah, that looks like that was the 1 day right there that I left off on. So I have not changed these lines for this time, and this time was January 22. So it's been about a month, a little bit over a month, about 5 weeks, and this is the result. So you can see that what it's doing is, as far as regions and also lines, these are the averages, but then there's also the regions between the averages. And so it's attracted to either of these lines. At any time it will be attracted to them, but in that process it will fill a region. So that's how both of them are valuable, and you build perspective on them. So the line that it's attracting to currently is the longest trending line. If we zoom out here on this, you can see that right here, right? These were the longest lines, and so you can see that the price is attracting to it. Now that's just normal because these are the averages, the average price for this range, and so that's all it's doing is it filled the average price for this range. You can see it attempted to do it there. This was the time that this price was made. So it attempted to go to that price, around that price, that average, and after it did, now it's going to around these averages of this timeline. So this was the timeline, the next longest timeline, right after these, and you can see that it did attempt this average, and then it attempted that average. Then it attempted that average of this timeline, and then it attempted that average of that timeline, and then now it's going to the longest average of timeline that we have here. That's what you see there. So we'll come back into this regular scale here. So a month ago, the price was doing this. It was heading up into this region. Now these are weeks. These are in weeks. So in weeks, this was the largest region. This was a smaller region. You can see that this region was diverging. And so at this time, when it first started, this was the bigger region and this was the smaller region. But it took longer than a day, for it to fill one of these regions. So as the week progressed, this region got bigger, and this region converged. This region diverged. This region converged, and it went. And price went also to. This also was the larger time frame. So eventually, that region filled, and that line hit. So after that happened, it used that as a resistance. Since it filled that line, it went on its way to the next larger line, the next larger average, which is this. So that means that it had to fill this region, and it just so happens that as it progressed doing that this region became was diverging, and this region was converging. So you can see that also made sense, right? And it in fact did fill that region a week later, after a whole week. So now that line was filled, it needs to move on to the larger time frame average, which was this line here. And so at this point, if it had entered this region, which it did, it's starting at the next week, there was a gap. So during the weekend, the price was falling here. We just couldn't see it. The market was closed. But when the market opened after 48 hours, the Forex price started here, which means that it pretty much already filled that gap. But if we were to see that watch that on the weekends, you would have seen that it crossed this small region here, which would have served as a stop loss region, and then into this larger region, going towards this line. And so it got close to it, and I guess considered filled at that time, around there. And then there was only one line left to get to, and that was the larger time frame. Now we go to the larger time frame. You're going to hit that one. And so it spent the week climbing up into that region, where now you can see that this is a converging, a diverging region. This is a converging region, but at this time, this region is bigger. So, and actually this region is bigger than both of these regions combined, both these regions together. So, it effectively, and it also wants to be attracted to this longer time frame here, average. And so that's what it's currently doing. I believe that's what it's currently doing, and it will either hit this or approximate it. But you can see that in all the other cases that it got close to or approximated those average lines. So I think we're still only halfway there, especially this being a larger, the larger time average. That really is only halfway there, and I think I would expect this to continue in an uptrend. If you look on this as just using the minimums, you can see that there's we've got this current pattern like this. Maybe got like a little bit of flag pattern or something there. And we're just waiting to follow this. Perhaps it will break to the upside here and then hit this average or something like that. But I think it will continue this trend here up until this point, because it's already, as far as this line analysis, it's already used this line, so there's no reason for it to be attracted and it has not used this line, so no reason to be attracted until it completes using this one. So after it finishes that one, then we can reset the lines and watch that play out again. So pretty much that's what we're doing, is we're going from average to average, from larger time frame to larger time frame. So this was letting 5 weeks play out, and so yeah, that's what happened. You have it using the shortest average to a longer one, to the next longer one, and to the next longer one, and now this is the only one left, and that's where it's going. Alright, so I'll let that finish, and but I am using, if you can see from my last video, this might take another couple of weeks for it to finish. After it does, then I'll review that. But I'm also working on some other strategies, and that was what the last video was.